How personal trainers are using AI to work smarter in 2026. Picture this: it's Sunday night, and you're staring at your laptop, trying to write personalized workout plans for 12 new clients who all start tomorrow morning. You've got Sarah, who wants to lose weight but has a bad knee. There's Marcus, who's training for his first marathon. And then Jessica, who just had a baby and needs to rebuild her core strength. Each one needs a completely different approach, and you're spending 3, sometimes 4 hours crafting these plans from scratch. Meanwhile, your own workout got skipped again, and you haven't had dinner. Sound familiar? For most personal trainers, the actual training is maybe 30% of the job. The rest is admin work, content creation, meal planning, client communication, and endless program design. But here's the thing: in 2026, the trainers who are thriving aren't working harder. They're working smarter. And they're doing it with AI. Let me be clear about something right up front. AI isn't replacing personal trainers. Not even close. What makes you valuable as a trainer is your ability to read body language, correct form in real time, motivate someone through that last brutal rep, and build genuine relationships with your clients. That's irreplaceable. But all those hours you spend on repetitive tasks, writing the same types of programs over and over, answering the same nutrition questions, creating social media content to attract new clients? That's where AI becomes your secret weapon. Think of it like this: professional chefs don't grow their own vegetables or mill their own flour. They focus on the craft of cooking while using quality ingredients prepared by others. AI is your prep cook. It handles the groundwork so you can focus on what you do best, transforming lives through fitness. The trainers I've talked to who've integrated AI into their workflow are saving anywhere from 10 to 15 hours per week. That's not an exaggeration. They're using that time to take on more clients, develop new revenue streams, or actually have a life outside the gym. And the quality of their work hasn't dropped. In many cases, it's actually improved because they're not burned out and rushing through client plans at 11 p.m. So let's get practical. I'm going to walk you through exactly how top trainers are using AI prompts to handle their most time-consuming tasks. These aren't vague suggestions. These are specific, copy and paste-ready prompts that you can start using today. Let's start with the big one: personalized workout program design. This is the foundation of what you do, and it's also one of the most time-intensive tasks. Here's a prompt structure that trainers are using to generate customized programs in minutes instead of hours. You tell your AI assistant, create a 12-week progressive strength training program for a 42-year-old female client. Current fitness level is beginner with no prior weight training experience. Goals are fat loss and muscle toning. Available equipment includes dumbbells, resistance bands, and a stability ball. She can train 4 days per week for 45 minutes per session. She has a previous shoulder injury, so avoid overhead pressing movements in weeks 1 through 4. Include warm-up and cool-down for each session, and progress the volume and intensity appropriately across the 12 weeks. What you get back is a complete program framework with exercise selection, sets, reps, rest periods, and progression schemes. Now, you're not just copying and pasting this directly to your client. You're reviewing it with your professional eye, making adjustments based on your knowledge of this specific person, maybe swapping out an exercise or two. But instead of starting from a blank page, you're starting from a solid foundation that would have taken you 2 hours to create manually. You've just saved 90 minutes, and you can use that time to actually coach your clients or, revolutionary idea, take a lunch break. Next up, nutrition guidance. You're not a registered dietitian, and you shouldn't be prescribing specific meal plans unless you're qualified to do so. But your clients constantly ask for general nutrition advice and meal ideas that align with their training goals. Here's how trainers are handling this efficiently. The prompt goes like this: provide 5 high-protein breakfast ideas suitable for someone following a muscle-building nutrition plan. Each meal should contain approximately 35 to 40 grams of protein and be prepared in under 15 minutes. Include options for both omnivores and one vegetarian option. List ingredients and brief preparation steps for each. Also explain why protein timing matters for muscle recovery after morning workouts. What this does is give you educational content you can share with clients that's accurate, practical, and saves you from typing out the same breakfast suggestions for the 20th time this month. You're building a library of these responses that you can customize slightly for each client. Some trainers are even using these AI-generated nutrition guides as lead magnets for their email lists. Create 10 of these guides on different topics, compile them into a PDF, and suddenly you've got a valuable free resource that attracts potential clients. That's working smarter. Here's another massive time saver: client progress tracking and communication. You know that moment when a client sends you their weekly check-in, and you need to analyze their progress, provide feedback, and adjust their program accordingly? That can easily eat up 30 minutes per client if you're doing it thoroughly. Try this prompt: review this client progress data and provide coaching feedback. Client is in week 6 of a 16-week fat loss program. Starting weight was 178 pounds, current weight is 172 pounds. This week's weight is the same as last week. Workouts completed, 4 out of 4 scheduled sessions. Reported energy levels, good. Reported adherence to nutrition guidelines, 80%. Client is feeling discouraged about the scale not moving this week. Provide encouraging feedback that acknowledges the progress made, explains why weight plateaus happen, suggests one specific adjustment to nutrition or training, and reinforces the importance of non-scale victories. The AI gives you a thoughtful, personalized response that you can then edit to match your voice and add any specific details you know about this client. Instead of staring at a blank message trying to figure out how to be encouraging while also being honest about what needs to change, you've got a framework in 3 minutes. Multiply that across 20 or 30 clients per week, and you're saving hours while actually improving the quality and consistency of your communication. Let's talk about content creation, because in 2026, if you're not visible online, you're invisible to potential clients. But creating educational posts, workout videos, and engagement content is exhausting when you're already training clients all day. Here's a prompt that fitness professionals are using: generate 5 Instagram post ideas for a personal trainer specializing in training busy professionals over 40. Each post should provide genuine value, not just motivational quotes. Include a hook, main educational content, and a call to action. Topics should cover common obstacles this demographic faces: limited time, joint pain, declining metabolism, and balancing fitness with career demands. Make the tone encouraging but realistic, avoiding fitness industry cliches. Suddenly you've got a week's worth of content ideas that you can film or write in one batch session. You're not scrambling every day trying to think of what to post. You're strategic, consistent, and you're staying top of mind with your audience. Some trainers are taking this even further and using AI to write video scripts for YouTube or TikTok, then just recording themselves delivering the content in their own style. The research and structure are done. You just bring the personality. Here's one that's particularly powerful for trainers who do online coaching: exercise modification databases. You programmed a barbell back squat, but your client doesn't have a barbell, or they have knee pain, or they're traveling and only have hotel gym access. Instead of texting back and forth trying to figure out alternatives, use this: provide 3 exercise modifications for the barbell back squat. Client has access to dumbbells and resistance bands only. One modification should be similar difficulty, one should be a regression for someone with knee sensitivity, and one should be a progression for advanced clients. For each modification, explain the movement pattern, what muscle groups are targeted, and how it compares to the original exercise. You've just solved a problem in 2 minutes that used to require you to stop what you're doing, think through options, maybe look up some exercises, and write out detailed explanations. This kind of responsiveness makes you look incredibly professional and keeps your clients progressing without interruption. One more example that's gold for trainers building their business: client onboarding questionnaires and assessment forms. You need detailed information from new clients, but creating comprehensive intake forms that actually get filled out is tricky. Try this prompt: create a new client intake questionnaire for a personal trainer. Include sections for health history and injury screening, current fitness level and exercise history, specific goals with timeline expectations, lifestyle factors including sleep and stress levels, available equipment and training location, schedule availability, and previous experience with personal training. Write questions that encourage detailed responses rather than yes/no answers. Keep the tone friendly and professional, and explain why you're asking each category of questions. What you get is a professional intake form that you can turn into a Google form or PDF that makes you look established and thorough from the very first interaction. First impressions matter, and showing up with systems and structure immediately builds trust with new clients. So let's add this up. If you're using AI prompts for program design, nutrition guidance, client communication, content creation, exercise modifications, and administrative tasks, you're realistically saving 10 to 15 hours per week. That's not theoretical. That's trainers actually tracking their time and seeing the difference. But it's not just about time saved. It's about consistency and quality. When you're exhausted and writing your 8th program of the day, mistakes happen. You forget to progress the volume. You accidentally program the same exercise twice. You give generic feedback because your brain is fried. AI doesn't get tired. It maintains the same level of detail and thoroughness whether it's the first prompt or the 50th. There's also a competitive advantage here that's worth talking about. The fitness industry is incredibly saturated. In any given city, there are hundreds of trainers competing for the same clients. The ones who are going to thrive are the ones who can deliver exceptional service consistently while also maintaining a strong online presence. If you're spending 15 hours a week on admin and content creation, and your competitor has figured out how to do that in 5 hours using AI, they've got 10 extra hours to train more clients, create better content, or develop new offerings like group programs or digital products. You can't afford to ignore these tools. And here's something most trainers don't think about: burnout prevention. This industry has a massive burnout rate. Trainers get into this work because they love fitness and helping